All praises to Yahweh. All praises to Yahweh Shai. All praises for Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that have been and continue to teach the true gospel. Salute to the Akim, spreading the true gospel on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, and on the World Wide Web. Much love to humble Akwath, who learn the science with all subjection and are in righteous order under the men of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. This is the brother Raza from the Church of Philadelphia camp. Hey, the Lord just put in my spirit, you know, to basically rebuke Eve, a righteous rebuke, right? And that's most of you Eves, right? Not all of you, but most of you. And that's just the truth, especially you Judite women, you know, but really all the tribes, women, um, because um, your reign of terror is soon to be over as well. We always talk about Esau's reign of terror, right? His kingdom, but hey, you Eves, hmm, you Aquath, right? Who don't learn the silence with all subjection. You're evil, and you think you believe you're in the right. You really believe you're in the right, and you're dead wrong. You know, and you're spewing madness. You know, because you trust in lies. You trust in Esau, Edom, and other heathen nations and their way of life. You want to be everything but obedient and submissive and help me like you're supposed to be. You think you're supposed to be equal, right? Which really means you're supposed to be above the man. But you're out of order, you know? And your reign of terror, and what I mean by that, putting brothers on child support, calling the cops on brothers for nothing, right? Talking greasy, right? Not being obedient. That's a terror to a brother, right? Which is why, Yahweh Shema Shai got me away from some of you women. Because you had that evil spirit, right? But hey, soon enough, you're gonna see how insignificant you really are. And hey, if you're righteous, you're going to be significant because you're going to be a helpmate, right? You're not going to be a terror. You're going to be peace to a man of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Because that's your true nature, you know? But you're out of your true nature, right? Because you want to do what you want to do when you want to do it. The biggest whores on the planet, right? If you don't get your way or a man not giving you this type of money, you're bugged out. Especially you women that have been disrespecting the men of the Lord. You know, hey, hmm, the Lord's got a special place for you, a special judgment for you. Lest ye repent, but hey, you're not going to, most of you, because you're proud. But when that Isaiah 4:1 kick in, hey, we're going to see again who was right and who was wrong. Because you got no business really worrying about whether a man has multiple women or not. I'm thinking somebody's supposed to ask you, well, can I do this? Right? Hey, man, that means you got a man's balls in the palm of your hands. We don't have to ask you anything. And the reason why men don't do it in this time is because there's so much bitterness and hate that's going to come from you. That shame. That you put the shame on a man. Ain't I enough for you, baby? No, you're not. First of all, you get your period once a month, right? So we supposed to just wait. Second of all, you get pregnant, right? So we supposed to just wait months, right? Just utter madness. And again, it's not about us having multiple women; it's about every woman having a man. So that shows the selfishness that you don't even understand. But this world got you so upside down, right, and inside out, that you really believe that you own this man, right? And we can't tell you anything because it's going to bring less peace to us at this time in this kingdom. That's why it says, you know, even though it's lawful, it may not be expedient. But to think that the expedient has to be because of what you like or dislike is madness. That's why this precept is so critical, and that's why we know what time this is. You know, so enough of me babbling. But hey, this book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And there you go right there. That's why it's not expedient, because of Esau's laws and your mouth, right? And your headache. The brothers don't want to deal with that, right? But guess what? That Isaiah 4:1 is on deck, and it's coming here, right? Right in front of your face. And you ain't going to be able to do nothing about it, because the Lord has ordained it, right, to be righteous. And hey, that's coming back, you know? And you ain't going to be able to do nothing with it unless you want to continue in your shame, continue in your selfishness, continue in your lack of understanding. But yeah, you women got hell to pay. Eve, you got hell to pay. That's just the bottom line. Everything you've done, especially to a righteous man, is going to be taken into account. And you can't be told anything. You just believe you right and we're wrong, because we're not in our power seat. So you're going to listen to the devil that's in power. And we can't tell you anything. Even though we try to talk to you, you don't want to listen. You don't want to hear it. Because we this and we that, and we don't know what we talking about. So you talking about something, we broke up the home. No, you broke it up, but you didn't want to listen. You didn't want to understand who you really are and your position that you're supposed to play. You're supposed to follow, right? Because of the order. Yahweh Shai, men, women, and children. Especially, righteous men of the Lord. Just trying to show you the way. And when that destruction come, hey, you're going to see how righteous, Lord willing, I be that number that we are and will continue to be. And you lack wisdom. You don't know anything. The Lord has deprived you of wisdom. So you shouldn't have anything to say. You need to listen. That's it. And follow. That's it. But all that nonsense, all that mess, when our children, some righteous men, your children got to hear that nonsense. You know, I can remember when I was a young kid, in my grandparents' house, listening to how my grandmother talked to my grandfather. Hey, man, reckless. Reckless. Because he saw Edom, made it that way. Because it went down hard on the man, really hard. right? So that the woman can be the so-called head of the household. In our neighborhoods, in our communities, Big Mama's house, and all that bullshit, right? Listen to Big Mama. Giving your money to Big Mama, right? You get, here you go, baby. You get the whole check. Come on, man. This madness. Hey, but we bringing it back, you know, because they're going to say, just let me be called by your name. To take away my reproach, my wickedness, my selfishness, my foul mouth, right? You women, hey, hey, judgment is coming. And it's here for some of you. You on TikTok crying, you on YouTube crying. You know, nobody want to hear that. Because you want to be the single ladies. All the single ladies. Put your hands up. Single ladies, right? Yeah. And now you're begging for a man. As you should. And as you will. You know? And the righteous men of the Lord will not be at a number. We're going to have our picks. You know? That's why some of us pick right now. Hey, me and the brothers from Church of Philadelphia, hey, we do that. We be picking them. Hey, that's me in the kingdom. That's me in the kingdom. That's how we do. Right? And hey, Lord willing, hey, that's gonna be true. Right? That's why the Lord put in our spirit to do such things. Right? It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. Yeah, because you just into all types of folly and wickedness, you know? And hey, that's why the Lord is going to separate these type of women from us, right? And He has. You know, it says, "Whoso pleaseth Yahweh Bashim Yahushai shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her." And meaning escape from her is the Lord's going to make a way where we separate from that evil and wickedness, right? So hey, hey, and the Lord has done that for me, you know. And hey, it's a beautiful thing. I'm in peace, somewhat, right? You know, for hey, away from all that nonsense that I had to endure before. You know, but hey, that's gonna be hell to pay. You know, for what you put the men of the Lord through. You know, so hey, and we're gonna see who was right and who was wrong, because you can't tell me, you can't tell them they ain't right in that Christian church, or listen to their girlfriends, right? Or how it's supposed to be. How a man's supposed to treat them, you know? But they roll all types of nonsense and wickedness. Hey, it says, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Yeah, hey, especially you simps. You know, you got songs out there. Oh, baby, please take me back. I ain't never gonna do you wrong again. All that bullshit, man. Hey, man, you messing it up for just normal men, right? You know, and putting a woman on a pedestal. Right? And why did I put her on a pedestal? Here it go right here. Proverbs 6 and 25. Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids, because that's what they do. You know, they use their beauty to mess your mind up, right? And have you do things you would never do. You know, that's why they send these women to set up these men, right? And get them killed and robbed and all that other type of nonsense, right? That's what they do, because they're whores. It says, for by means of a whorish woman, there it go. A man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. That's what they do. The biggest whores on the planet, right? Eve, in this day and time. Hey, it's going to be a beautiful thing when the Lord brings you back to who you are and underneath the men of the Lord, right? It's going to be a beautiful But we got to deal with you right now. But hey, your reign of terror is up. Know that. Because Yahweh Bashim Shai said so. Right? It says, Proverbs 7 and 9. In the twilight and the evening, in the black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the time of a harlot and subtle heart. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Now is she without. Now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. You know? Hey, and that's what that's what a lot of you women got to do now. Hey, that's what you're doing. You're giving that thing up. You know, you go further, it's a different type of context. But hey, just a little bit of that. Hey, you are in the dark nights. You know, going around whoring, basically giving that box up for a few dollars because you're wicked and you're off, and the Lord put you in that position. But hey, here's a position you're gonna be in very, very soon. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by age. Yeah. And 7 just means completion, right? So we're going to have our picks. You off of because ain't going to be chosen. You ain't going to be picked. You know? I've already had the chance to be with a man of the Lord. So, hey, Eve, you're done. You're through. You know? And Lord will not be at that number to be not only called but chosen. You know? To because you've been our enemy too. To see your downfall. Because you've been our enemy. You know? And you're so powerful. Like your father, the devil, Esau. Right? But hey, before I close, I'm going to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Dash. Hey, Lord, what if it was edifying to the elect? Until next time, Shalom.